Hi, I'm Zappy, founder of the Mind Army social movement. We're fighting for the right to pursue happiness. And we believe it's everyone's inalienable right to go inside their own mind for answers and healing. This is a moment that if you're watching this PsyTech conference, that we have to, as a group, get radical. We have to become activists because we're many in numbers and we have the best product in the world. It really works for all of the things that are ailing society right now. There's suicide, addiction, depression. We call this the sad epidemics. And now we're coming out of a pandemic with PTSD that is skyrocketing. And we have the solution. So we're asking everybody to start getting radical here. These compounds were made illegal back in 1966 based on the fact that they needed to be studied for safety, which made sense at the time. But here we are 54 years later. Millions of people have taken these compounds, many with great benefit. So we're not going to sit here and listen to anybody tell us that alcohol's good, tobacco's good, but somehow psilocybin mushrooms or iboga are somehow bad and they're illegal for anyone to take, even if you're facing suicide, addiction, or depression. We're just not taking it anymore. So what can we do as activists? Well, I'll give you an example. A few years ago, I put a full-page ad in the New York Times addressed to Donald Trump, asking him to make the opiate epidemic a first 100-day issue. And in that ad, I described how ketamine is being used effectively with veterans. I described how iboga is being used to treat the addiction epidemic and gave that information because the reality is there's not some big conspiracy that's holding these things back. It's really just a lack of education. And so we as psychonauts, we as the community, we're the ones that have to educate society and stand behind our products because they're the best in the world. So what can you do? Join the Mind Army social movement. Go to mindarmy.org and fill out the petition. We're asking the president, whether it's Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or someone else, to immediately make psychedelics legal to address the crisis that we're having with depression and addiction. So go there and be part of the cause. We intend to tell Donald Trump that if it's him, that he will win the Nobel Prize by making these available and really bringing down suicide rates. If it's Joe Biden, his son Hunter Biden had a drug and alcohol addiction, and we intend to tell him, since his son broke that using iboga, that if it's good enough for his son, it's good enough for everybody else. And it's time for the president to write an executive order making these things legal right now. What the Mind Army is doing in order to address harm reduction is we're creating a task force, and we invite you to be part of it. That task force is going to come up with protocols that do harm reduction. We know that in every city in America, there are psychedelic societies of people who have a lot of experience. And if it's legal and these people can come to the surface, then that means that we're going to be able to tap them. If somebody's having a bad experience somewhere in any city, that we're going to have people that can come help that person and help them to integrate it. We are also creating a microdosing handbook. The Mind Army microdosing handbook is going to show you basically, once this is legal, if you encounter with some of these compounds, how to use them safely and slowly via microdosing. And this microdosing handbook has information from MAPS, Double Blind, Third Wave, and a lot of other really incredible experts in the space. So join the Mind Army. Let's get aggressive. Let's come up with ways that we can shake things up. I saw just the other day that a group went to Joe Biden's house and put a letter in his mailbox about using iboga that his son used and making that available to everybody. This is what we have to do right now. It's in our hands. We're in a crisis. If this was a sci-fi movie that we're living through, it's a really scary one. Everything's hitting at once. Suicide, addiction, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder. And our products, these psychedelic compounds, are the cure that society needs. So get in here and fight for our right to pursue happiness and join us, because we will be victorious and it will happen soon.